It's the number fee. Our first queen for Brafie event, you know. Our first queen for a year event, you know, any number fee. Come on. Now, we share Jumedi, no. Nancy say, Nipa be brave, why? Because I portfolio about Nanu Tumba, you hope you're instrumental. Because Ambassador Seko Joe, Nana Waisa, Ubia, Crescent as a four family, Ubia, and the one Shema, you money affair. It was so beautiful that day. Nanyamia drum, your queenaba, it's never a bonkomaka. Or you beer, free hasi. Or first now. Omeka said Black American. No, now Omeka said, oh yeah, African American. Yes, that is the right one, right? Yes. Into no, anybody born Kumaka. Aquaba.
Oh, it's a sin. It's a sin, Kumasi, Madase. Bah, unpredictable eye.
Yeah. Chino, what was the moon count? What's what got you? Now, Ghana, D. Ben, during the.
Well, I've been here before.
Yeah, no, the name you got during the pageant.
Nana Araba Rene.
Nana Araba Rene. Inti Idia Unya during the event, no. Inti Yebe Potokakra. Yes, yeah, say bit Macabe de Nibia. You're welcome to come and say.
Thank you.
Oh, so how was your trip to Ghana?
Amazing. I don't want to go.
You don't want to go?
No, not at all.
Why?
Because it's beautiful, rich in culture, and beautiful landscape. I love it.
Wow. Okay. So, over Facebook, I will say, and then Nancy, photos need to Google, so I'll wait me and share, and then Nancy will be green. So, let's reminisce again. So let's go back to the basis, right? Before the event in Brafie, what was your mindset about Ghana, Africa?
I believe there was so much that was left to be told, and I don't believe that we have access to the rightful information. So I wanted to research, but not just in a regular find a book. And I wanted to have a hands-on experience. I want to live like the Ghanaians do. I want to walk how they do. I want to eat the food that they do. So I just didn't know how to do it. And so when I saw the opportunity, I was like, what in the world? This is exactly what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Okay, so then you decided to be part of the whole Brafie pageant.
Absolutely.
Okay.
There was an actual meeting that took place to kind of share out information. The more that Ahmad and Eric spoke, it was like, this is exactly the opportunity that I needed.
Wow. So let's go back to during rehearsals and also getting to know much about the tradition you represented, the region you represented. Was it that easy to grab everything before the event day?
No, absolutely not. There was so much information coming at you so fast, from how to wear your cloth and why certain things are done and how you eat and what foods are delicious, and you know, it was so much information coming at you fast, and trying to store it all, it was overwhelming. But the love for the culture, it just kept you coming back each week to meet with the group. And I was assigned to the Fonte Association of Greensboro. Love you guys. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much.
Wow. You're welcome. So during the event, you saw that almost everyone was just keen to win.
Yes.
To have the ultimate prize, and you became the one that you became the queen.
Yeah.
Okay. During the event, at a point, was it a point that you felt nervous about, you know, like somebody was going to grab that queen from you?
I totally believe that in plus size possibilities. As a curvy woman, you got to step boldly. You can't hesitate. You can't stutter step.
Yeah.
So there were plenty of people saying, hey, I'm going to win the crown. It's mine. And I was like, oh, okay. No problem.
And the plus size didn't.
Oh, no. It didn't trouble me at all. One thing about me, I do runway often. So there's no one to compete with my walk.
Yeah.
The world is my runway, truly.
You believe in yourself.
I believe in it, truly.
Yeah. Is this something that you were so much interested in before you got into that, or it just came just like that?
Well, the language, I was really interested in learning the language. I studied in Spanish and French before, but my ear kept turning to you know, the tweed, the fonte. The fonte was a little tougher to learn. Of course, it's because I was given the information a little later in the game because I was watching my Brafie kind of get his instruction, and I'm like, what's for me? What's next for me? What's for me? They're like, okay, here you go. I'm like, whoa. Okay. So it was a bit overwhelming, but I was determined. And so I just had to slow down, breathe, and just tell myself, you're representing the culture. This is new to you. But just as everyone else is probably scared to jump out and do something bold, you have to model that. Jumping out of your comfort zone and accepting something that is new to you.
After showing up your craft and then before the big announcement, waiting for the MC to announce whoever was going to win at that time, what was going through your mind?
I was wondering if I left anything left to be unturned. We had our talent portion, we answered our question. I felt pretty confident because I truly believe in my heart of unifying people. I believe in being an ambassador for unity, inclusion, and change. And so it wasn't just for being pretty in a pageant for me. I knew that with the crown came a great responsibility, and I intended to carry that out.
That's good. So we are speaking to Nanaraba Renee. That's a Ghanaian name. Yes, Ghanaian name. We know what else we peg Ghana din. Or no, we find Nanaraba no. And I would do what you want for Ghana din. So na. What the day
also the portfolio.
We dey mess with the young am throw here. We dey Nana commercial beef. Nana go come.
You no play
Nana go come. Now you have the ultimate prize as the Queen of Brafie, the maiden edition. That was in 2023. Do you feel that as a big task to you?
It was a tall order, but I was prepared to climb that and serve well. From the moment that they showed us how to wrap and wear the print, it felt a sense of servitude, like it was my honor and duty to give this information, an information that has been cut off from us for a very long time. And you know, that ownership of being an African American is something that is so important and that each person has to embrace for themselves. So for me, I took it on head on, and I said, I'm not going to stop until the message is served.
Wow. So you're still serving the message?
Still serving the message.
Everywhere?
Full figure fierce. Absolutely.
So now you're an ambassador?
An ambassador. Absolutely.
Trying to preach a word?
I guess that you can say that. Absolutely.
You're preaching the word.
Absolutely. And leading with love, because you can't really throw it down anybody's throat. They have to want to hear you. And sometimes, you know, you use your creativity to meet people where they are so that they can receive you well.
You've been to Ghana. This is not your first time. What's your observation so far? What's your feeling so far? What's the picture that, you know, going through your eyes and everywhere? What is it now? Tell us about it.
Well, I know living locally was very unique. I told myself I wasn't going to say no to anything, so trying all the food was delicious. I love wache, I love fufu. I really enjoyed just sampling every food that's there, even chicken feet. That was pretty interesting and amazing. The mangoes are huge and I love them. The transportation was quite interesting, and it didn't matter which town we went to. Everyone had their own way of doing things, which was cool. And Kumasi, oh my goodness, it's not enough said about Kumasi. There's such an order, beautiful landscaping. I love every plant and tree that I laid my eyes on here. And again, I can't say thank you enough to Brafie Inc. Thank you so much.
Wow. You've lived in New York and you're now living in North Carolina.
Yes.
And you've been to Accra, you've been to Kumasi. Can you place them in order?
Well, the trees actually tell the story, because the trees in New York seem like they are struggling to breathe. So I'm always trying to save the tree. I didn't know that I was such a tree hugger. Honestly, up until 2015, I lost my mom. And so I found myself taking a lot of hikes inside of the forests, the state parks. And so I kind of let the trees lead me in a way, and each time I go there, they kind of show me a lesson. So every time I've gone to each city here, I found that each tree had called to me in a different way, spoke to me in a different way. I know when I was in Accra, which is very similar to Manhattan, very similar.
Yeah.
Which I feel the same way about Accra as I do Manhattan. It's nice, it's great to see the tourism, but that's for that reason only. For me, I'm about the community and meeting the people. So that's where my heart is. And then, like I said, driving here to Kumasi, first thing I noticed that traffic is really interesting in all places. But then there's such an order, like I said, to driving here, and you have to be a very strong driver and navigate the roads, you know, because I don't think
everything must
when
you're driving. Your brain, your arms,
Yeah.
everything.
All of it.
It should be awake. Or else.
Yeah, that should be a course, truly.
So if you had to change anything in Ghana, what would you change?
The one thing I think I would change is the mindset that there has to be two different ways of welcoming people. I think going to the different tourist sites, you see that there's like the non-Ghanaian price and the Ghanaian price. That's kind of same division that we face when we're in America. So as much as you're welcoming people here, you don't want them to be deterred by that, because we want to feel just as welcome, because we are finally finding our roots. It took a long time for us to have access to that information, and to be cut off or feel like, oh, we still don't have any, you know, closeness to it. It kind of feels like, well, you welcomed us, but do you really want us? But I feel welcomed everywhere I go, so I don't have that true problem. But I hear the voice of the people, and then we want to be welcomed truly in one place.
Wow. I'm going to go personal this time. Not about Brafie. What's your worst moment in your life? Your saddest one?
Saddest.
That breaks your heart. Or maybe broke your heart.
The saddest moment.
Your hardest one.
Ooh, hardest.
Intense one.
Losing
Big
my mom.
one.
Losing my mom.
Losing your mom.
Yeah. In 2015, my mom was murdered right across the street from where I lived.
She was murdered.
Murdered. Yeah. She was a ball of energy. She was a passive evangelism. She would give the shirt off her back to any stranger. And I remember growing up at her feet saying, I don't know how she talks to people like that. I could never do that. I don't want to do that. That's too much. She's extra. I find myself every day becoming more and more like her, and remembering all of the little messages that she left for me, the lessons, and they're priceless now. They're truly priceless.
Do you remember her quote, the one quote from your mom?
Wow, one quote? She had so many. Like, don't touch my ice cream. That would probably be the main one. No, but no, she really, I would say, don't be afraid, do it.
Do it.
Don't be afraid, do it. And I think that I've taken that message and jumping and going, and that has taken me in a lot of places. She wanted to travel so much, and she didn't get the chance to. She was only 56 when she passed. So getting to carry that torch and continuing a legacy of love and reaching people in the most distant of places has become a part of my own legacy.
Wow. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Why you want to cry?
Oh, good.
You look good.
You know, the interesting thing, the older I get, the more I look like my mother, so I see her in me, and that to me is such an honor, because all I ever wanted to do was make her happy, and I believe she wanted the same for me.
And she's happy wherever she is now. She is happy.
I believe it.
Yeah. So, you are the queen now. What do you think?
No,
No, tell you. Tell you. What did you do now?
So on say, if you say we know, I mean, I believe to say the answer say I can monkeys play by sizes. And you see so na asho wa bobra e be fata wa ankasa na o wa hwe na akwa fa de so chen wa na say the ndi wa hwe
na bro kiya de nya bra bo se mu
o the American no chese the American no chese won so wunya nipa o te wase a onu betu na mo na wo be ye wase de on so be na say the American atimi
na bigesi yire hwe infi o ne ware ye bigesi ne yire a o na tena infi be nyina sika be na bigesi so onya o ja
na na nye sika nko awo
na dia
ai ke sika nko anka sabi nke bi no nware da wo
but I saw etem ka say I didn't and yet be else in no way cool until be at the batch be to me, Siana. Be bit to us.
Let me hear BNC. So be a worry, Umunia, who create BNC. It's impossible, so I was all
only written and no, sir.
Well, even if it's 1%, I will bet mark 1%.
Oh, and never come.
I'm ready to do. I'm joking. Be your corner view.
Yami Adum. Wamana sign. Oh, yeah. Why is he the Oman Kwa by Amaya, Mamma, teachers and baby? What is one more true? My red teacher, and some I see.
I was going to be a nice
Oman for the Amaja Casam. Jaja Casam, lawyer, Casam, well, be the actors again at Chairman. Now, who said?
Satan, no much.
Ah. What do you want to have a chance with the match? There's a super when you're
Antigano. Yeah,
no matter if you have a code. You're always looking young.
I don't. I don't. Obey me, I'm but say. Well, I want 2 years. I know, said you, which I could ready.
Then I don't be a hench and could be.
Oh, Chris, I don't.
You start cool.
So, Obebuko, I don't know why I also Casamay. I
don't know one idea.
And I'm inquire, home will be a as I was a party, we say I don't need you.
Yes, sir. And then I can go full circle, young baby. Come better to me now. We more. I cheer my straw one, come better to me now.
Now, I tell you, one pie will be an umpire to one pie. I broke out the end of your time at Chill with my car, so now I bought for something. No seconds, you know, okay. I was so no one, I empire will be. Because if you are an empire, no one, I don't go to us enough. I say, I can't one area, I know my boy. Oh, I be Papa. I know I won't treat you good.
There we are. Yeah, there is him. Which me and I lose water.
And one,
don't go if you are with the other.
Pinto be done.
And an idea. First, like, what? Let us say. First, I just say, maybe son and ask them now. Just say, when you just never went to me, some Bishamano. As I call it to Bisano. Yes, sir. My man, now I'm chilling. I assume to me, sir.
I said, so, son, you. I might as well be to me. You.
First, I let you know, say, if you will find out to me. So, the boy be there. This is na bibi aboko.
Adom bibi aboko.
Zama dear.
Medase. Mechia wati foni ahwefo nyina. Zama a restaurant kumbia. Eradenam ye sofo penyin ye Bishop Emmanuel Ankobia Kokro ene ne hokafo Lady Apostle Angela Ankobia Kokro. Ede ebedom asafo no. Se afenim pa mu bia yede edaba ko besi honom na yebeka bom yede aseda eni aye yebema asafo erade esanse erade aye bebre yehwe free afenim fiti ase ebesi sabre a erade aye bedodo enti se wode yebedwum pempenso se aye wogidi se obetimi di echa empo onyum tuni ne ka e was Psalm 34 so I will bless the Lord at all times. Interest say radini bibia on say I will do it, and as long as we have life, we have the cause to bless God, and our life is worship every day of